You once served as Kenya's Justice Minister, and in that position you are very vocal on so many avenues. When you sit back and look the current situation that we have between the judiciary and the executive, what will be your reaction in the ongoing, for lack of a better word, somewhat tiff between the two arms of government?
I think it's just, it's something that is easily solvable, because if everybody followed the Constitution, followed the rule of law, there would be no friction. There can be tension, healthy tension, because each of the arms of government is independent. But we must all be agreed that court orders, unless upset by a higher court, ought to and must be followed. Otherwise, we cannot have rule of law. And that the institutions must respect one another. No one institution should try to put a hand into the territory of the other institution. And I think failing to balance this is what has brought what appears to be that friction. If the executive has no role in determining who the Judicial Service Commission brings in, it cannot try to interfere. But it has an avenue, because it has representation within the Judicial Service Commission, including its Attorney General. So if there are concerns, you'd expect that they are sorted in-house. Failure to do that is what is bringing all that. Because if you bring issues when the horse has bolted, you are trying to influence the reversing of a decision already made. But all is not lost, because you can't proceed with the decision as made. And if there is alleged wrongdoing on the part of any one person, there are procedures on how to deal with them. So just understanding and following those simple basics resolves any standoff.
The judiciary seems to be emboldened in recent days, and case in point, I cite the case where they told the president that if you don't appoint the judges, we will do that ourselves. Do you think this is a dangerous path? Or
courts of law have always resolved our disputes. And as Kenyans, in the Constitution, we clearly give power to the judiciary, whenever there is conflict in interpretation, to have the last word. Whenever there is refusal by any one person, including an individual or an institution, to do what you are required to do, the court must find a path. We cannot stay in paralysis. If you sell me your land and you refuse to transfer, and I take you to court for specific performance, courts will normally give you a number of days, a period within which you must transfer the land to me. If you fail, they'll authorize the registrar of the court to sign on your behalf. And the registrar is not the owner of the land. But the court is resolving the paralysis, because there has to be an end to the dispute. I gave that analogy so that the public may understand what the court was saying. Mr. President, it is your role, after the Judicial Service Commission selects, it is your role to appoint. It may be ceremonial, but it's your role as the president. But we've ordered many times and you failed to do. Are we going to leave this and have endless litigation? We give you a chance. Do so within 14 days. If you fail, one, we deem these individuals already appointed. So there is no question of appointment. The court has deemed them appointed. Number two, the Chief Justice and the Judicial Service Commission can organize for their swearing. You will notice even when they go to State House, it's not the President who swears them. They're just sworn in his presence by the Registrar of the High Court. So the court is saying, to resolve the paralysis, should all else fail, the same mechanism, they can be sworn in the presence of the judiciary itself. And to show it's a corporate thing, they don't say in front of the Chief Justice. They say the Chief Justice and the Judicial Service Commission to arrange. So I don't see anything unusual the court has done.
Do you agree with the calls by some other people or from some quarters that the judges and the magistrate should go on strike, should down their tools if they
I don't want to enter into that debate, but I want to say this, that traditionally there is an unspoken code. When you have just left an office, you don't try to direct your successor on what to do, especially if there are things you never did yourself. You see? Yeah. There's that unspoken code. Whether it's a president, especially the heads of the three arms of government, you know, if you've recently left a seat, you better agree that you retired from that position and let the holder do their job. Yeah.